right to
Contrary
remove,
to law.
you have no right to remove these people.
Stop.
This illegal hearing. No, you've no right to remove these people from the hearing.
Stop. Please.
This hearing is not being carried out in accordance with the circular. It's not being carried out in accordance with the circular.
She is bullying Enoch Burke, who has been removed and cast into a room.
Enoch Burke is a fair hearing.
Enoch should be here with the principal.
Why is there a barrister, Mr Barra Faughnan, in the hearing room?
You cannot record. Can you put that away,
And
please?
why is there a solicitor?
We're just
Fiona
asking
Sheil?
why is Fiona Sheil and Barra Faughnan, why are they in the hearing?
This is a serious matter.
You should be concerned about this as well.
This is a private building.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Why
This
is there a barrister and a solicitor here acting for the Board of Management?
Okay, you've
When
made your
it's
point.
against the
This
law,
woman is
and it's
bullying my
against the
son.
circular, and it's
This
against
woman,
the practice of the
Claire
law.
Callanan, is bullying my son, and these two men are bullying my son. They're bullying, and these people should not be in the room. Barra Faughnan should not be in the room.
Barra Faughnan seen here in the middle and Fiona Sheil, they should not be present in the room.
We're here for the appeal.
I know, but do you want to take your stuff or do you want to leave
We
it?
came for the appeal.
We're here. That's Mr Burke's stuff. He's ready for his appeal. As you can see, he wanted a fair appeal in accordance with the circular.
Yeah,
Instead,
okay.
he
This is
came
right.
in and he found a solicitor and a counsel acting for
Yes.
the Board of Management.
Please,
It's not
could you stop
acceptable.
And Enoch Burke is
Very
taken
serious
from
matter.
prison in Castlereagh
yeah.
and
Okay,
thrown
come on.
into a room here. I'm not going anywhere. This is wrong.
No.
This is wrong.
This is
Unacceptable.
completely
This
wrong.
is what it comes to.
No, you need to get the full story. This is wrong, guards.
Yes.
It's not, we're not involved in all this policy and procedure.
Mr. Lahart, you know this is wrong.
Okay, you've
You
made your
know
point.
this is
You've
wrong.
made your point. Yeah.
And Mr. Irwin, you both know this is wrong. And you know this
Yes.
woman, Claire Callanan, in the middle,
Sorry,
is
please.
bullying Enoch Burke.
Yes, it's completely contrary to the circular. Completely contrary to the circular.
In front of a
It's
barrister.
morally wrong what's happening.
Yeah.
Forcing him
You've
to
been
sit
allowed to
in
make your
front
point.
of a barrister.
You've been making
Barrister
your
and
point for a long
solicitor
time.
should not be present in the room.
Come on, come on.
No, we're not going.
Don't make us.
Should not
We're
be
not
here.
going. You shouldn't be doing
Shouldn't be
this.
You
doing
have
that.
no right to remove them from this room.
Mr Barra Faughnan,
You should
Barra
be dealing with that
and
woman.
Miss
I don't want
Fiona
to
Sheil,
speak
I'm giving you
that
the
woman.
opportunity.
should not be in
No.
this room. It's a matter that should be
Just going on long enough now,
informal.
Mom.
It's informal under the
Come on, don't
circular.
make
No,
it
you've
Mr.
no
Burke.
right to
Contrary
remove.
to law.
You've no right to remove these people.
Stop.
This illegal hearing. No, you've no right to remove these people from the hearing.
Stop. Please.
This hearing is not being carried out in accordance with the circular. It's not being carried out in accordance with the circular. Martina Burke being removed. Isaac Burke being removed from the hearing.
No, in here actually, in here, Sean.
Being removed from the hearing.
The one this way.
Being removed from the hearing that's not being carried out in accordance with the circular.
You want to
I'm
stay there then.
concerned about my son. I am concerned about my son.
It's an unlawful.
How he is being abused today.
Get your mother there for the moment.
It's an unlawful hearing. It's an unlawful hearing, and it's a disgrace that things have come to this pass.
Yes.
It's an absolute disgrace that we come into this hearing. It's supposed to be informal. It's supposed to be a disciplinary appeal panel, where on the other side is the chair of the Board of Management and the principal. That's what the circular says. And instead, when Enoch came in this morning, he meets a barrister and a solicitor running the show on behalf of the school.
Very sad. Very
That's
sad.
representing the Board of Management. Totally contrary to law. It's totally contrary to the circular,
yes, yeah.
and it's totally contrary to the practice of the Disciplinary Appeal Panel. That's all being confirmed. So this is a rejection of law and fair procedures by these people. Seamus Lahart, John Irwin, and the chairperson, Claire Callanan, of Enoch's appeal. And I think Enoch is locked into a room here now. He was taken from a prison cell in Castlereagh here this morning. He wanted to have his appeal heard,
Yes.
but instead now he's
And
locked
Claire
into a room.
Callanan has continued to abuse him from the minute he went into that room. When Enoch Burke has been very polite, very upright, and just stated simply from the minute he went into that room that he objected to a barrister, Barra, Faughnan, and Solicitor
Fiona
Sheil from Mason, Hayes and Curran sitting opposite him. They should not be in the room. This is breaking every law in the book, and it's just not right. This is absolute abuse that we are witnessing here today. And now we have the Garda Síochána getting paid to stand here in the corridor to keep us all out of the meeting. Here are the Garda Síochána and prison officers all paid good wages to keep the Burkes out of this meeting, all because Enoch Burke will not go along with transgender ideology and use the they pronoun for a young child. That's what it's all about. And they want to push him and bully him into sitting there and speaking now to a barrister and a solicitor instead of
the chair of the board of management and the principal of the school. That's what the circular says. Those are the people who should be presenting the case on behalf of the school.
Yes, it's been sad to see the way they could deal with a young man who spent 650 days in a prison cell. Upright, decent young man, never in trouble with any law, loved his teaching position, and it's disgraceful to see how this woman, Claire Callanan, could abuse him in there today and not care that he's taken out now from after 650 days in a prison cell and not even given fair justice or fair procedures and now thrown into a room and watched over by prison guards. The words of Claire Callanan today.
She said, we may be wrong, she said, about the solicitor and counsel. She said, you, Enoch Burke, may be right. But she said, we've made a decision and we're getting on with it, she said. That's a disgraceful comment, I would say, for a chairperson of a disciplinary appeal panel tasked with running a fair and correct appeal. Effective appeal of Enoch's appeal.
She said we've made a decision in effect to break the circular, to break every law in the book, but that doesn't matter. You just bow the knee and start speaking, Enoch. Yes. Enoch wasn't willing to do that because thankfully we are protected by these laws. And he didn't come in here today to talk to a barrister. That's not the purpose of the Disciplinary Appeals Panel. That's not the purpose. He's been to the courts. But this is a different situation here today. But they have brought in barristers and solicitors. And that's not why Enoch Burke came here today, not to speak to Barrister Faughnan and Fiona Sheil from Mason, Hayes and Curran. And we've had this before. Shambolic Disciplinary Appeal Panel meetings. This is the third one now. This is the third one because it's wrong what happened with Wilson's Hospital School and Enoch Burke. It should never have happened.
This is the disciplinary appeal.
So just to explain what's happening again, Enoch Burke was asked to go in, we understand, to the room again, the appeal hearing room, by Miss Claire Callanan, the chair of the DAP, and we're being blocked. However, we're here to attend with him, but we're being blocked from going into the room by these members of Garda Síochána. And
so the guards are preventing
us from going into the room.
Attending.
Yes.
And the hearing is...
It looks very sadly like the hearing is over. I see Mr. Seamus Lahart here, he's packing his bags, and John Irwin is packing his bags, and it looks like this is over. This is Claire Callanan here. She's leaving. This is Seamus Lahart, and then following here behind is Mr. John Irwin.
Seamus Lahart, one of the panel members of the Disciplinary Appeal Panel, walking away from the hearing. And we have Claire Callanan here with her box as well.
Sorry.
Claire Callanan here leaving the hearing.
Claire Callanan, this is the chairwoman of the Disciplinary Appeal Panel, who who denied Enoch Burke fair procedures in the hearing of his appeal. This is Mr Seamus Hart of the Teachers
Excuse me,
Union.
sorry, I will have to ask you not to go through this.
This is Mr John Irwin here. John Irwin is from the Joint Managerial Body. So he's the other member.
Thanks very much.
And they're going into the canteen.
Sorry, you have to leave the premises now. The
going into
hearing
the
is
canteen.
over. Now you have to leave the premises.
Yes.
The hearing is now
So
over.
this is what's happening. It's disgraceful scenes at the Department of Education today. Just shocking scenes. We're in the Department of Education building here. This is the place where the Department of Education procedures should be upheld. They say that proceedings shall be informal, and it's totally contrary to law, to the practice of DAP hearings, and to the circular that you would have to come in as a teacher and see across from you lawyers, big law from Dublin,
A barrister for years.
30 years.
defending the actions of the Board of Management. And of course the DAP really bowing and scraping to these lawyers.
Working with them.
Yeah.
Working with them. Claire Callanan looking over at Barra Faughnan for the answers and having to be told by Barra to keep quiet. We've been told now that the meeting is over. We hadn't even a chance to say goodbye to Enoch Burke. Very, very sad that he's shuffled
Yes.
out from a locked room, out some back door, put into a van, and
Yes.
going to be thrown back into a cell in Castlereagh prison now. Very sad, inhumane and
Yes.
abusive.
It's only about
what
half
has
one.
happened here? This is
Half
the
past one here.
Department of Education.
Yes.
This is Department of Education Ireland, all because up on 4 years ago he refused to call a young boy by the they pronoun, to use the they pronoun at the command of Niamh McShane. And Enoch has spent over 650 days now in a prison cell. All because of that. All because of that. That's the pressure that's on us in this country to accept anti-Christian ideology. See all the guards, all the prison guards, all the money that's been spent to shut us up here today. And we went into this meeting, as we said, and we were looking across the table at a barrister and a solicitor at a DAP meeting. This should not have been. And Enoch, of course, objected to that. He was, I think, the only person who spoke.
Yes.
He spoke for over an hour. He raised his objections, but he was
Yes.
bullied by the chair, Claire Callanan, bullied from start to finish and
Yes.
abused.
And there were-
the two silent men beside her, Jack.
There's John Irwin from
John
the Joint
Irwin,
Managerial Body, and then Seamus Hart from the
Seamus
Teachers Union of
Hart.
Ireland, TUI.
Agreeing with her in bullying my son. Very,
Yes.
very sad and inhumane day, I suppose. Very, very inhumane the way
Yes.
they can treat a young man.
Yes, and I would add, this is a very serious matter that you would come in and you would see a barrister and a solicitor in there with the Board of Management. What you're supposed to see is the chairperson of the Board of Management and the principal of the school.
No sign of the principal, no sign of John Rogers.
John Rogers, the former chairperson of the board, was nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen.
And
because
this
they
is
can't answer questions.
Yes.
Because they've done wrong. Not my son Enoch. They've done wrong.
Yes.
This should never have happened.
Why do they have to be protected unlawfully, I would say, by a counsel and solicitor? It's against the circular, the Department of Education procedures, and against law, and against a common practice here to have these people in the room. You're just not allowed to have legal representation in the hearing room. And what happened was, the hearing started at around 10:15, I think.
Yeah.
And Enoch raised these objections.
And
He did make his
wondering-
submissions. Now there were long. I have to say there were long adjournments. So there was really consternation.
3 exits by
Yeah,
the DAP.
consternation now amongst the DAP members. There were at least three, maybe 4 adjournments where they said they'd go out and they'd think about it. And one of those adjournments took at least a half an hour, perhaps 40 minutes. But then eventually they just said, we've made a decision, we're going ahead. They said, we might be wrong, you might be right, they said to Enoch. Can you imagine? This man sitting in a prison cell for 650 days, they're telling him he might be right and they might be wrong, but we're getting on with
That
this.
doesn't matter.
And that doesn't matter.
It's
And-
the iron foot.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, I'm sitting there looking at, when I came in first, I'm looking at Fiona Sheil. I'm wondering, has she joined the teaching staff of Wilson's Hospital School and
Barra Faughnan,
Faughnan.
a barrister.
So it's totally wrong what happened here today, and totally inhuman the way my son is being treated. And very
Yes.
sad that the way this country is, and I would ask the people of Ireland to stand up for Enoch Burke, but most of all stand up for your own children, for your sons and daughters who are being indoctrinated in anti-Christian ideology. That's what it's all about. And the church, the government, the courts, all agreeing together to push this agenda on the people of this country. And the schools, of course. Here we have the Department of Education, the centres of indoctrination. And that's why Enoch can't sit in front of the principal or John Rogers, because they're wrong and they had no right to do what they did to my son. So instead of that, there's no sight of them. And we have a barrister and we have solicitors from firms in Dublin. But it's not acceptable, and truth will win out, and God is still on his throne.